Every golden age carries within it the seeds of its own destruction. For humanity, the dream of an empire burned bright, but it would not last. In the 31st millennium, the warp grew restless. Storms ignited across the Imperium, cutting off world from world. For thousands of years, the galaxy burned in silence. Humanity's vast web of colonies was torn apart. Planets once bound by trade and communication were isolated for centuries. Civilizations that had grown strong fell into anarchy. Worlds starved, empires collapsed, and across the void, demons howled at the gates. Warp travel became madness. Ships lost their way, torn apart or consumed by the very sea they sailed. Where once was order and unity, there was only silence, fear, and betrayal. But the Age of Strife was not only a war of man against man, it was a war against reality itself. For 5,000 years, the warp boiled. Storms raged so violently that the stars themselves were cut off from one another. Whole empires gone, isolated in a single night. The great colonies of mankind scattered and silenced. And worse still, from these storms, things emerged. The first true daemonic incursions of human history, on worlds ruled by untrained psykers, the veil tore open. Demons walked in flesh. Cities were dragged screaming into the immaterium. Entire colonies vanished, not destroyed, but devoured by the warp. Humanity had entered its long night. The galaxy was not silent, it was screaming. Humanity's gift became its curse. Psykers, once rare marvels, began to appear in vast numbers. Untrained, uncontrolled, they were torches in the dark. And the predators of the warp answered their call. Some were consumed by demons, others rose as tyrants, witch kings ruling with fire and madness. Entire worlds were enslaved or lost to corruption. The dream of empire had become a nightmare of possession and ruin. On humanity's homeworld, Terra, the collapse was absolute. The cradle of mankind descended into savagery. Mutants roamed the wastes. Warlords carved empires from the ruins of once great cities. The armies of techno-barbarians battled with relic weapons from humanity's golden past. Psyker-kings ruled as living gods. Techno-barbarians wielded the last plasma cannons, the last atomics, the last shards of a dying age. And amidst the slaughter, humanity forgot what it had once been. On Mars too, the dream was broken. Terraforming failed, atmospheric processes withered, and the great colonies turned on one another in endless war. But from the ashes, a new faith was born, the Cult Mechanicum. They looked upon machines not as tools, but as divine. The Omnisire, the machine god, was their saviour, and their creed would shape mankind's future as surely as the Emperor himself. For 5,000 years, this was humanity's fate. A long night, worlds cut off, besieged by demons and tyrants, civilizations rising and falling in isolation. On Terra, warlords bled the world dry. On Mars, the forges burned with blind faith, and across the stars, billions perished in silence. Humanity was dying, and none believed salvation would ever come. But in the shadows of Terra, one being had watched for millennia, guiding, waiting, preparing. As the long night reached its darkest hour, the Emperor of mankind was ready to rise. The Age of Strife was ending. The Age of the Emperor was about to begin.